Alright, good morning everybody. We're playing some Dimir Inverter today, an archetype that I feel is like pretty underexplored in Modern. You know, the big idea here is that the best way to beat the Omnath deck is to play a combo. Like we're doing here with the Inverter combo. But the best way, but you know, the only deck in the format is not the Omnath deck. And there's kind of like a tough rock, paper, scissors in the metagame right now, right? Where you have your combo decks that are good against Omnath, you have your Murktide and like Shadow decks that are good against your combo decks, and you have Omnath that's good against those Murktide style decks. So what's cool about this archetype is you have a lot of the same interaction that's going to make you good against opposing combo decks, and you have a lot of cheap interaction that's maybe going to give you a good game against the Murktide style strategies while also having that combo against Omnath. Obviously, there's a lot of different ways to build a deck. I feel like this is a relatively safe way to build it. Master TCG, 8 months, and Grey Birch with the 3. Why is black the worst color in Modern? I just, you know, the other 4 are really good. Black's fine. It's a fine color. I will say that one card I think is really surprisingly important is Talisman of Dominance. Not only allowing you to combo a turn sooner, it's just, I think, pretty important with a deck that wants to play all these 1-mana spells too. I think a lot of people play like sometimes none of this card, sometimes 1 or 2. I'm just kind of jamming the full 4, and then the full 4 is also good with Memory Deluge, which is also like the relatively new card that I think enables the archetype, digging deep for your combo, giving you that card advantage. You're playing mostly at instant speed anyways. Did some playtesting the deck last night, made a couple changes, deck felt pretty solid. I did lose to Calibrated Blast though. Rex, the 9 months, appreciate you. How did the Pioneer Challenge go? I ended up not playing in it. I took Sunday off. Spins and Footfalls. We lost really hard to... So I got a little chocolate in my throat. We lost really hard to Rhinos earlier. Although I do think that the Inverter combo is good against them. We just kind of stumbled a little bit, to be honest. A deck tech for Destructive Tron. You don't. You've got a few deck techs queued. You don't have to gift, but we could take a look. Yeah, I know that Bloodbraid Marauder is your pet card. I don't know that I'm a big believer in it though. It's just a lot of work for a card that you could basically never cast on turn 2 for Delirium. Sometimes you can, but really, really inconsistently. And so like you're really inconsistent Delirium turn 2, and then like a lot of times you're hitting like an Inquisition or a Lightning Bolt or a Bauble. Or like sometimes you'll hit a Shadow when you're above 13 lives, sometimes you'll hit a second Ragavan and Legend roll them. I just don't believe in the card, to be honest. That being said, so like, but if this is your pet card and you do believe in it, I think you've built it totally fine. I think your build is fine, and I think you're probably in the go ahead and try to prove me wrong camp or category. Alright, I guess we Thoughtseize with Counterspell up. If they cast Borrower in response, that's fine. Just trying to think if I Counterspell. I think I will, actually. Okay. Sideboard, I think Recto's Charm is a bit of a trap. I think that it does a lot of things okay, but it doesn't do anything super well. Okay. Alright, so we're going to cast our Inverter. Our diver is going to be Cling, Counterspell, Thoughtseize. So if we draw Cling into Cling, we can win. But otherwise, we do have a, you know, Inverter blocks the Rhinos. Next turn we can potentially just go like steal a Rhino token too. See if they brick. I wouldn't play Reality Hemorrhage. I would play Engineered Explosives or Reality Hemorrhage. Just like so much more impactful against the Hammer Time deck. Or like Culling Ritual, just like anything else really. You're in green, right? You're in green. Don't play Feed the Swarm when you're in green. Play any other answer to enchantments. Feed the Swarm is not good. 3 Chalice is also like probably a little too many. I would probably play like 2 Void Mirrors, 1 Chalice. Because they're good at multiples. I could use the charm to draw 2. Oh, right. That's right. I could draw 2. But the only mode on this is steal, I thought. Sorry, I did do the deck text and play a hard deck to play. Okay, there's no single card I lose to. Right. Okay, Boseiju is pretty funny in this matchup, huh? So now I can't draw 2. And get the job done. So I guess now I do have to steal. Opponent's last card should just be a land. Okay, all their burn does 2 damage, so they either bounce this or we win. Okay. That was a very good Boseiju. Okay, 1-game-1. We got trashed by this matchup earlier, but I think it's got to be good. Like, our combo's pretty good against them, and we have a lot of good sideboard cards. I think I wanted to cut the pushes, still play the 2 Murderous Cuts, play 1 or 0 Cling, and then do something like maybe like 3 Talisman, 1 Opt, or 2/2. I've been doing 2/2 sometimes. Not sure about the sideboard plans yet, obviously. Playing against a lot of Cascade today. If you're not prepped for Cascade opponents and you're playing on Moto, you probably should try to develop some plans. Okay, solid hands. Kind of weak to like creature beatdown, like with Borrowers and Bone Crusher maybe. What's the highest number of Dallas Balls you could be in a playable deck? I don't think there's necessarily a hard limit, especially in a format like Pioneer. I guess I'm taking the Blood Moon. And then I wait on the Chalice so that if they have Foundation Breaker this turn, they don't get to just immediately play it. I can Spell Pierce or Force of Negation or Petty Theft. Very good draw. They decided not to play their 3-mana 2/2. It's kind of an interesting draw. I guess I can't afford to draw 2 and still win with the Oracle the following turn. Yeah, I can't afford to fetch here and still try to win next turn. We should be pretty safe. I know my opponent's hand is 2 Shardless Agents and a mystery card. I can play Oracle with counters, with Archmage's Charm up. There's not much they can really even have. If they have like Hardcast Subtlety plus Force of Negation, we could just lose. But even then, the Inverter might just kill them too. So I think that matchup is pretty good. It's the second time we played it today. The first time we got trashed pretty bad, but I think that matchup's pretty good. It might sound weird, but we'd be better off with fetches. I know why you think that. I understand the thought that fetch lands putting no cards in your yard is really important, but I think that logic is not correct. There's been like a few matches today where we've been able to combo because we had fetch lands. Like, I think it's a pretty common misconception that you want 0 cards when you Inverter. You usually actually want like 1 to 3 cards. And I know that Delta's like not a good card to draw when you Inverter, but you do need cards in your graveyard. You are a Fatal Push deck too, and so like if you're like having no fetch lands in your Fatal Push deck is bad. And yeah, I think the fetches are very necessary. But maybe maybe we save the Unmarked Grave Persist version though until that card is legal, because that actually is pretty interesting. We'll see. Okay, new matchup. My opponent's mulled to 6. I think I'm probably supposed to put back Oracle. It's kind of close. Yeah, you could definitely splash. You could definitely splash white in this deck if you wanted to. Is Elder Deep Fiend playable in Pioneer? I've tried Elder Deep Fiend in a few different Pioneer decks in the past. Don't force litigation me, opponent. I once, like, there's this one card that's like a 3-mana 1/1, and you like look at the top 5 cards of your library, and if one of them's a creature, then you get to put it in your hand, and then you get, if you emerge it, it becomes a 3/2. And so I was like, I remember I was doing some like testing with that deck off stream, and I played against Todd Anderson and Saffron Olive off stream, but they were both streaming, and like the deck looked really powerful in those matches, but then I play tested it at like 3 more leagues, and the deck was bad. And I tried a lot of different versions, I couldn't make it work. But I remember I had people asking about it for weeks. I had people asking about it for weeks because like they just saw it off stream and they thought it looked good. But I've never found a good Elder Deep Fiend deck in Pioneer, I think. I do have a soft spot for the cards, so maybe one day. I'm gonna bottom that. Same off the Hideaway lands. Yeah, I am off the Hideaway lands. I think, like, again, what I really like about Blue-Black is the fact that it has a lot of good, cheap interaction. And so I'm just kind of generally trying to stay away from fast lands. And, like, what's kind of awkward about the Hideaway land, too, is, like, if you don't find exactly Thassa's Oracle off of it, it just doesn't do that much. If you fetch on your opponent's turn, it does not make River of Tears tap for black, so we don't have to fetch right now. Did I see that Elder Deep Fiend Affinity put up Trophy Big Go? Yeah, we were also talking about it on stream. I think, I don't know if... I playtested it before that list got trophied, and I didn't like the build I put together. Their build was a little bit different, but I did playtest that archetype, and I didn't like it very much. Yeah, River of Tears says if you played a land, not if a land came into play this turn. Okay, so I can't actually tap River of Tears for black, so kind of awkward here. I kind of just want to take 2 lands. I don't know. I guess I'll take Opt Sunken Ruins. Do they have Delirium? They do have Delirium now. They exile 2nd Ragavan with Iteration, so that's good for us. They've also missed a lot of land drops. Okay, I think Thoughtseize is good here. I know that, so I need to, I'm gonna have 11 cards in my library. It's kind of a lot. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4 if I take this. Opt, Thoughtseize. I guess what's kind of funny about leaving my opponent with Ragavan here is that they're shrinking my library every time they hit me, which I think is actually fine. Although, one problem, though, is I have 2 Thoughtseizes that they could hit, which immediately kill me. But I think I think I lose if I leave them with the Murktide, unfortunately. Why can't Inverter be a 6/7? Okay, so they play the Heat. Their hand is Explosives, which is dead. Consider Lightning Bolts. They have a 2 in 11 chance, basically, of killing me. Maybe they'll hit my Delta. Maybe they'll hit like a Counterspell. They hit Deluge. Red Pen. No! We got freaking Thoughtseize bugged out of this game. So frustrating. They have a bolt too. Ah! Okay. Tough spot. It's funny, like all last league we had spots where we had Dark Shores over River of Tears, and there's like 2 times that River of Tears would have been a lot better. That game, if we had Shores instead of Tears, we had a pretty good chance to win. I think. It was at least going to be better. Oh no, I want to keep in the Talismans because of Blood Moon. Yeah, I've been doing something like this. Okay, let's do this. 1-drop Catacombs. I mean, I feel like with all the 1-drops, you don't want the Catacombs. Probably be fine. Seems like you want just 1 or more 2 Dale spells main deck. I think you could be right about that. I think you could be right about that. It's a really tricky thing to balance, though. Modest, thank you for the raid. Hope you're having a good day, buddy. Appreciate you. Yeah, you shouldn't bring in Voidwalker against them. It's just too weak to their removal. No, the Thoughtseize bug is not real. It's just, you know, a meme. I think I'm playing Watery Grave tapped. It's kind of close. I usually don't see Talisman in the list. I think Talismans are great. It's great with all like the 1-mana spells. Being able to play Talisman into 1-mana spell, combo turn sooner. I don't think that they're necessary. I don't think the deck like doesn't function without them, but I am pretty happy to play them. So I think I'm trying to get Island with the Strand, and then probably Swamp with the Cut, so that if they did bring in Moon, we're not gonna be super weak to it. Any chance the Exile vehicles he's playing Modern? Yeah, I think that card's really good. I know you've been saying the logic, not half the comments in the chat are funders saying, Spike, please, can we add logic dot? The deck is going to be perfect if we just put the logic knot in there. John, only mana source is kind of rough, unfortunately. And I don't love having to kill a channeler, but I think we need to here. Okay, put him not with a threat here. Yeah, I'm not saying we shouldn't play it, but I am saying I'm considering it, Funder. We'll maybe put it in. At this point, it would be more helpful instead of just maybe you could suggest what we could cut to include it, you know, instead of just saying we need the logic knot over and over and over. It's probably 4th Talisman, but maybe we'll add it, maybe we won't. Am I less likely to play because of chat constantly asking? I'll say yes, so that it doesn't happen anymore. Okay, if I counterspell this, they counter back, we top deck Inverter, win the game. Kind of counterspell for now. Yeah, you could do that too. Alright, Inverter off the top for the win. I guess they know my top card, so maybe they didn't see Inverter. It's kind of a horrible card. Thoughts on first Jace Wilder over 4th Talisman? I don't love adding a 4-drop and cutting a 2-mana mana rock. You could play the first copy of Jace, but you'd probably have to just play 8 4-drops at that point. Yeah, Leyline of the Void is good against Murktide. Pretty crushed they didn't sack the Islet. If they sack the Islet, I get to resolve the Deluge. No, I just don't. Oh, I do. Weird. Okay, I'm going to take Inverter and then Oracle, I think. Could maybe have taken second Spell Pierce to try to like win this fight here. Yeah, that's maybe better. Kind of sucks Inverters and Pitch to Grief in that version. Yeah. Okay, big draw step. Not a big draw. I think if my opponent has nothing and I find Polluted Delta, Murderous Cut off Deluge, we're not dead. So I'll just gonna walk through the motions. Found the Delta, didn't find the Murderous Cut. Cling to Dust doesn't save me. I go to 5 after the fetch. Recent 5-0 mono blacklist, red Leylands and Voidwalker. I think that's really bad because you need to bring in Voidwalker against decks like Tron and Titan and Control and cut your like Dead Fatal pushes and Damnations. That's like the whole reason the Voidwalkers are in the sideboard. Not saying that you're incapable of 5-0ing if you make that inclusion, but I think that's just kind of like someone misunderstanding what the Voidwalkers are in the sideboard for, not understanding a mono black Karn deck with all this removal needs versatile sideboard cards like Voidwalker. Birds of Paradise. Easy find the land. Might steal the bird. Should be playing against Yawgmoth here. Probably gonna cling my own opt here. Yeah, I was definitely hoping they didn't have a second mana dork. I wonder what this matchup's like. Guess we'll find out. So now I can't really afford to steal the bird. Just pass with interaction up / deluge. What's the purpose of the talismans? I think we get this question a lot. I think you're overthinking it. It's acceleration in a deck that has a 4-mana combo piece. You also can immediately cast it and play one of your mini 1-drops off of it. Yeah, I think we can embrace the messenger, or at least we've got a really good chance to. Okay. One card left in my opponent's hand. They're attacking me for 5 next turn, down to 6. Not an easy deluge at all. I think I'll take Delta push. Not feel very good about it. So I could maybe go Thoughtseize. Their last card. It feels somewhat safe about deluging end of turn. Then I go down to 8, take 5. Then maybe I could set up for like a cling following turn. It's pretty close. Could maybe be fine to go like push Strangleroot Geist in combat and then like steal a Birds of Paradise, but I think that this is gonna be fine too. Just can't find it at Oracle. I will take, I think, second Fatal Push. So I got like some crumbs in my throat. It's kind of choking a little bit. And we can go Fatal Push Messenger, Cling to Dust Exile Messenger, and then also Fatal Push the Geist. I guess we'll do this all on my opponent's upkeep to play around Evolution and end of turn Court of Calling. Maybe I'll just double push the Geist actually. Do I have enough mana for that? No, I'm one short. Ignoble will kill me. I have another push up. Should do this in combat. I'm doing it upkeep to play around Eldritch Evolution. I think it's a little better. I don't think it matters much. Somehow we're pretty stable here. I think I might just go to 1 and flashback Deluge if my opponent only attacks with, if they attack with these two. Otherwise, obviously, the push saves us. It's just not taking 5. Yeah, but if they attack with Young Wolf Geist to play around a removal spell, then we can take 4 and go to 1. Which is also like, they also have used, they usually only play 1 messenger these days. Yeah. Because like, we have 7 looks at an Oracle, which probably just wins us the game. Yeah, I could steal 1 drop, but I think this line's pretty good. You know, we put a lot of non-Oracle cards on the bottom. I don't think we've, I guess we did shuffle since then, actually. But we just have 7 looks at an Oracle, which wins us the game. Seems like a pretty good line. They might have Chord. Yeah, but Chord doesn't even do anything here, right? Assuming that the messenger is out of the deck. Like, assuming that there's no more messengers, I don't think Chord does anything. Sorry, I need to be able to have this stupid counterspell up. So I need to tap like this. Yeah, exactly. I'm saying Chord doesn't do anything because they only have 1 messenger, usually. But we found the Oracle. Cool. Very close game. It did not look that good for a long time. I'm going to bring in the Voidwalkers, the Murderous Cuts. Cling is okay. It's not that good. It's fine. Why don't we trim 4th copy of Memory Deluge and then 4 Ops, 2 Talismans. Get some water. Not sure how this matchup is. It's probably fine. Probably fine. Does seem like they probably have a hard time dealing. I guess I got all these endurances. Never mind. The endurances are going to be a pain in the ass. Thoughts on cutting a river for Shelldock Isle? So yeah, a lot of people suggest Shelldock Isle. There are 2 things I don't like about Shelldock Isle. I don't like that it enters taps in a deck that has all this cheap premium interaction. I do think a big part of like why this deck's so good if it draws a land. So his hand's so good if it draws a land. I think I might actually keep. Needs to be a black source though. I guess it doesn't really. This hand is so good if it draws a land. I'm gonna mulligan. We're only on 22 lands. But so like you have all this cheap premium interaction in blue-black. So playing an early tap land I think is kind of awkward. And I also don't like that if you don't hit exactly Thassa's Oracle off of your well, I guess we're kind of all in with this hand. If you don't hit exactly Thassa's Oracle with your Shelldock Isle, it kind of doesn't do anything. Like, it can maybe find you a counterspell to protect your combo, right? And that's kind of fine. But, like, the fact that, like, it just has to hit your Oracle, which I don't like very much. Not attacking for lethal was a pump by them, letting you flashback and sitting spin and miss your life. I think that you're right, yeah. I think that you're right. I think it was a pretty easy mistake to make, too. So 2 Talismans in the deck. Rapture 2 months. I'm not a sleuth, but I assume my friend Ruth would love this deck about Inverter of Truth. I have a friend named Ruth. I can ask her. If you were, maybe we got some copies of Jace. Yeah, that would make Jace better. So yeah, you could do a build that. Oh, Thoughtseize is brutal here, but you could have a build that's like playing like 4 Talisman, 4 Shelldock Isle, and then you maybe you just do like 4 Inverter, 4 Jace, and you don't play Memory Deluge. That would make me a lot more excited about Shelldock Isle. This is maybe good. Just kind of imagine what this might look like. Maybe play just 3 Jace or something. Yeah, I mean, I also feel like Deluge is just so good in the deck that I'm oh, dude, the Thoughtseize bug. I also agree that I think that Jace is better than Deluge, which is obviously why I'm playing this version. But yeah, you know, this makes me a lot more excited about Shelldock Isle. So, or maybe you don't play for Shelldock Isle. This is just obviously spitballing. But that makes me a lot more excited about the idea. Shelldock and Dauthi seem like a non-bow. How so? Yeah, maybe there's something about that interaction I don't understand, but... Oh. Did I get a zombie? I push bird over hierarch here. I didn't put any thought to it. I should have killed the hierarch. Okay, so I get a zombie. I did bring in my Dauthi Voidwalkers. So I do have a alternate win con. I also have a zombie token now. Time for Inverter Beatdown. No Inverter Beatdown this game. It's got to be Oracle Beatdown. And we do have Voidwalkers in the deck. It's gonna be tough though. They do only have 2 cards in their hand. If we draw like Fatal Push, I'm feeling good. I think I'm feeling pretty good about Deluge. I have a zombie token, Copian. I have win conditions in the deck, alright. Including that one, huh? Yeah, we can also just, you know, draw our deck. Easy peasy. What a game. Reclamation Sage versus Thoracle. I'm gonna attack with both. I'm gonna attack with both here. And then probably Deluge this turn for mana efficiency's sake. Reclamation Sage trades for zombie token. High level modern gameplay. Opponent's got 3 cards in their hand. With them not casting Hierarch, that means they have Endurance, which is really bad. That they get my flashback. I still have to cast the Deluge. I need to use my mana. They do have Endurance in their hand, though. Oh, they're getting... Opponents? Oh, they're courting. They're courting for 1. Okay, never mind. They're courting for 1. I thought that they were going to cast Endurance before this resolves. Or courting for 0 to get Dryad Arbor. So why don't we go take Murderous Cut, Archmage's Charm. And then cut the Arbor, steal the Hierarch. Go, Thassa's Oracle, go! Attacking with my 2/4 Thassa's Oracle. Oh, man. Who needs Inverter of Truth, huh? Who needs Inverter of Truth? Not me. Okay, so we've got 6 mana, not enough to flash back the Deluge. Go ahead and cycle the Cling to Dust. Somehow draw another Murderous Cut. Murderous Cut this. Leaving Deluge, Cling to Dust in the yard. I guess I should play this first. Easy game. Yeah, this is why we killed the bird, not the Hierarch. This is why. Easy. You guys just couldn't see it. You guys don't have the big brain like me. Okay, now we can flash back the Deluge. But we have a 2-turn unclock, unblockable. This game's probably going to be hard to lose. I think you probably just shouldn't even board in Necromancia in this matchup. I don't even know that you should. This is a card you should board in. Gives me a zombie token. Okay, so I've started all 3 leagues off 2-1, and the first 2 leagues we finished 2-3. So hopefully we can break the slump here. Okay, on the draw for match number 4. Probably a keepable hand. This is Endurance Poo-Poo on Inverter. I think you can play around it, but I mean that card's very good against the deck, yeah. So Bomble, Wooded Foothills, Thoughtseize. Probably playing against Jun's Saga, Jun's Shadow. Takes the Counterspell. So if I Thoughtseize, I can draw a Counterspell and have that up next turn. It's probably enough of a reason to shock here, but I don't know. Just assuming I even get to push something. They didn't take the push. Maybe it's better to play this tapped. Does Pioneer have the same unban hubbub for Inverter the way Modern does Twin? I don't think so. I don't know. Like the thing. What's cool about the Twin combo, right? And why I think a lot of people didn't mind Twin being legal. Obviously, a lot of people did mind, but a lot of people like didn't mind that when you're playing against Twin, you can interact with the combo game 1 with your creature removal spells. That was always, I think, a really obnoxious thing about the Inverter combo and Pioneer, is that your removal spells are just dead cards. Or like almost dead cards, because the Inverter combo just doesn't care that much about them. Guess we're Thoughtseizing. Pretty strong start. Liliana, Ren, and 6. Voting for Twin Years Caleb is dead. I don't think there's anything I can do about it. VODs just eventually go away, right? I guess, no they don't. I don't know. I will be okay. We'll survive. Yeah, it's on YouTube. I think it's on both of our channels. So I think I might actually Deluge in response here. And if I find like double Oracle, I'm going to be really happy to discard 1, but I may even discard 1 if I find it. Okay, I don't find it. I'll just discard, take Fatal Push, Cling, discard the push. Or should I the Cling? Can you interact with the Walker at all? We can bounce a Walker with Otawara, we can attack it with Inverter, or we can just kill him. Or counter a Walker, right? Yeah, the problem with, like, if I draw the Oracle, my opponent's just going to be able to, you know, Brimble him Thoughtseize with the Red and 6. I did draw the Oracle. Okay. What's my plan? If I Inverter, this doesn't do enough. Have to Otawara Ren. Otawara Ren. I still take a big hit from the Thoughtseize. They ultimate the Liliana. Push, Cling, Inverter next turn. I think I have to play Otawara and hope my opponent doesn't ultimate Liliana. Or ultimate Ren and 6. Okay, wait, if they ultimate Ren and 6, I can Cling the Thoughtseize in response, actually. I can Cling the Thoughtseize in response. Yeah, so if they plus Liliana, we'll just discard Fatal Push, Cling the Thoughtseize, and then just try to go Inverter plus Oracle all in one go next turn. After we draw a land off the Cling. And if they ultimate, yeah, so here we go. Cling Thoughtseize. Obviously this might not work, but so what if I just discard Oracle? Just discard Oracle. Then cast Inverter. Then cast Push. Oh, they also don't know Besage is good after I Inverter, maybe. It's a great draw. Don't like that they're fetching. This may just be an F6. So now I have an Inverter in the deck too. It's a problem. Kinda. They've got no cards in their hand though. This has been like one of the hardest games I've ever had to win. What a hard position to be in. But I think we're actually out of nowhere, just like ahead. Discard Opt, Charm into Oracle. Well, I think they're going to Ultimate Liliana. Maybe not. Yeah. Ultimate Liliana, Ultimate Rin and 6. Choose a pile to sacrifice. So my deck is currently Inverter of Truth, Thassa's Oracle. I can just pass here. Then I can discard either cantrip. I guess I should steal this to play around second Ragavan in hand. Not that they can really have it. Not if opponent's removal. No, I can go down to 0 cards in my library next turn. Couldn't we opt into Thoracle? So opt into Thoracle that turn doesn't beat a removal spell. I'm playing around a removal spell there. So I can just cast a cantrip in response to removal spell and win now. I think I kind of like casting the Oracle first just to make sure they know that they can take this line. So they killed the Oracle. They did have the removal, by the way. We win. They can't have double removal anymore. The other card's Ragavan. Not that it even matters, because no removal spell beats us there. I can't believe we won that game. That was maybe the hardest game I've ever won. Or like the biggest comeback I've ever had. I don't know. That was crazy. That was an absurd spot to get back from. Why no bottom Inverter? I don't know if you're joking, but that's the only card in my library. Top or bottom is the same outcome. You're probably joking. Probably want a couple Thoughtseize for like endurance. Yeah, beat Rin Emblem, Liliana Ultimates. Not an easy thing to do. My opponent probably could have played differently, but they, we definitely played it in a way that was kind of hard for them to make the best choices. So Inverter and Pioneer had no good Sideboard cards. What about Murktide and Modern? Yeah, there's plenty of good Sideboard cards against Murktide and Modern, just any like removal spell. Leyline of the Void's also good against them. Chalice is great against Murktide. But just like no Torpor being legal in Modern was a big problem for like this deck existing, I always felt like. Okay, I can't cast the Murderous Cut this turn. We'll just get our Talisman down. Taking 3 down to 16. Plus got 4 cards in their hand. Tapped Baronmore. Really wish that was an Inquisition. It's not though, obviously. If they take Murderous Cut, I might just like slam Inverter and hope that they can't answer it. We'll see what we draw. Okay, that's probably good enough for me to not just YOLO slam against the Jund deck. Okay. Pass back. I mean, I think Memory Deluge is better than Jace. Jace as a like 4-mana card advantage spell in this archetype. Okay, discard Watery Grave. Or do I discard the Oracle? I think I discard the Oracle. Just try to be more resilient to discard spells. Might have to get just like a little lucky on how I draw with my Inverter. But this charm actually makes it more likely that I could get lucky. Server, thank you for the appreciate you. So server, thank you for the Twitch Prime, appreciate you. Yeah, so now I can draw 2, and if I draw the Oracle, it's gonna be a win next turn. Saw you at SCG Dallas. Well, did we chat? I chat with a lot of people there. Probably did. Thank you for your subscription. Okay, I'm at 12 life. Hit me for 4 down to 8. I think I'm starting to play this deck a bit better. It's definitely a very tough deck to play. Okay, I do have 2 removal spells for this in my deck. 2 removal spells, 1 Opt, and 1 Thoracle. So I can't win this turn, but I can bottom this. Find push for the Tarmogoyf, and then it's just gonna be really tough for them to kill me. We didn't chat with service, that's fine. A lot of people ended up saying that too. I'm always happy to chat with you guys. I can also be a bit awkward too, I think, sometimes. Time to lose Ragavan? Yeah, 1 in 3 chance of losing the Ragavan if they have it. They only have 1 card in their hand at the moment. Okay, we drew the Oracle, have to cast it. We lose to removal spell as our last card. They don't have it. What a match. What a match. What a match. That was awesome. Get a 4-1 prediction going. That was like the best match we've streamed in like a month, probably. Aaron, thank you for the 4 months. Appreciate you. We're gonna keep this. Can lead on the river. Five-color Yorion Inverter? Yeah, that's next league. Shay, thank you for 3 months. Appreciate you. Welcome back. Put a moles to 6. We'll probably Murktide this with some stubs. People keep suggesting Murktide. My biggest argument against Murktide is, like, you don't have a cohesive, aggressive plan in this deck. You know what I mean? Where your Murktide has to actually deal them 20 damage, usually. And we are living in a modern format where most players are prepared to deal with a Murktide Regent. So it's like, if Murktide was somehow like super well positioned and nobody was ready for it, which I don't think is likely to happen too much anymore, then I'm kind of into the idea. But the fact that you're never going to run into an opponent who's not ready to kill a Murktide for the most part means I think that's probably not the best game plan. Amulet, maybe. My opponent's on a mold of 5. Could be Amulet, Tron, Yawgmoth. Yeah, it is Titan, and our hand's actually very good against Titan, and they're obviously on this mold of 5. Oh my gosh, what the hell? Okay, I always have to reread this card. Return to its hand, reveal the top 4 cards of your library. You may put a land from among them on the battlefield tapped. Okay, deal. What's more useful than a 4-mana 6/6? Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Like I don't know how often you get to attack with the Inverter, but yeah, you are right. The Inverter does sometimes help you beat down, I guess. At the very least, it doesn't seem like a great plan. but you are right. Could be wrong. Okay, my opponent Azusa pass. Oh, Azusa land drop. It's all fine. Take Castle Vantress, Thoughtseize. Then we can go play Castle Vantress. Thoughtseize my opponent. I think I would rather leave them with Turn Timber Symbiosis, so I'm not called to top decked Cavern of Souls. And then I want to Murderous Cut this for 2 mana. Just leave up Counterspell, leave the Deluge in the yard. Yeah, I think stopping them from getting Cavern down is correct on this board. I mean, I know we have the Archmage's Charm for the Turn Timber Symbiosis. They also are like 2 mana shy of casting Turn Timber anyways, so it's also like not too scary. It's a pretty good draw for them. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they can't Castle Gambrig mana for Turn Timber Symbiosis, of course. Just gonna fetch and then scry 2. Mostly looking for Inverter, I guess. Found Inverter. Okay, so I get to play Inverter with Archmage's Charm up, and even though I've got the Charm up, I guess I'm not countering Turn Timber Symbiosis though. I'm just gonna draw 2 and win the game. Right? Because even if they hit Titan off Turn Timber, it just doesn't matter. I do think we lost the Titan earlier. I can't actually remember, but I don't think the matchup's probably too bad. Yeah, we lost game 1 after our Thoughtseize bricked against a 7-land keep. Then we won game 2, and then we multiplied and flooded out super bad game 3. And then I had the game plan to keep the Opsin over Voidwalker on the draw, and then on the play, bring in the Voidwalkers, which I think is a fine choice. I cut the 4th Fatal Push, 2nd Cling, 3rd Deluge, I think is what I did. Maybe I cut the 4th Talisman, but I think Talismans are pretty good here. Just like killing them on turn 4 is pretty good. This seems fine. And then on the play Voidwalker over Opt. Full auto, 10 months, appreciate you. Does this deck do well without Dig to empty the graveyard? I mean, Dig Through Time is like a super broken Magic card. Like, if Dig Through Time were legal, no joke, I think Inverter would be the best deck in the format in Modern. Dig Through Time is not legal, and you have some other options like Cling to Dust, Murderous Cut, a few other options I'm not playing like Relic of Progenitus that are all fine. But yeah, I do think this deck is somewhat playable, but harder to build because Dig's not legal. Yeah, it's hard to imagine Inverter not being the best deck in Modern if Dig were legal. You have like so many ways to build it. Dig is so powerful. You have such good cheap interaction. Yeah. Murktide empty yard. Yeah, this is maybe like the most common question we've been asked today. Again, what I don't like about Murktide is like your Murktides really often have to deal 20 damage by themselves, which is hard to do. You could maybe try to figure out like some kind of way to have like a more beatdown, or maybe you play Grixis and you play Lightning Bolt. Just figure out a way to like have the aggro plan be a real plan B. So I'm probably gonna wait till turn 3 to play Talisman, so I can have 2 mana up the whole time. Yeah, I know Inverter can attack for 6. So like again, I could be wrong. You don't get to attack that often with Inverter for 6. Inverter can make your Murktide huge also. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, you could also have it as a sideboard plan. I don't really know like what matchups sideboard Murktide like really shines against though. Okay, I hope they're on the like Urza Saga token plan this match. 4 cards in their hand. Do you think the new blue-black draw 2 discard 1 fits in the deck? So we were talking about maybe playing a Reanimator version of this deck. Our Reaniverter deck, if you will. And I think that I'm interested in trying that idea out in the Reanimator focused version that we were kind of theorizing. I think I'm a little less interested in this version, but that card does seem like a really good fit. So I am kind of torn between wanting to playtest a Reanimator version right now in this current modern, or just waiting until that card is legal and then trying it then. So we'll just kind of see how what I end up doing. What's banned in modern that doesn't allow Inverter to be good? People were talking about Dig Through Time. I don't think Inverter is bad, but like Dig Through Time is the card that if it were legal, Inverter would probably be the best deck. I mean, maybe there's a better Dig Through Time deck, but I don't know. Dig Through Time, if it's unbanned, is probably the best card of the whole format immediately. Just like, doesn't make a lot of sense to even really entertain it. Dress down into Inverter 6/6 beats. We haven't taken that line yet. It is a line. So they're going to get map, probably for Cavern, right? Isn't Dress Down still bug? Last time I played it, Titan's still triggered. I was not aware that was an existing bug. I haven't seen that ever happen. Did you respond to the Titan with the Dress Down, or did you respond after the trigger? Because a lot of people think that you could Dress Down with the trigger on the stack and it stops it. I mean, we're just countering this. They fixed it last Friday. Okay, so it was bugged. Yeah, I guess I was just busy playing Pioneer all last week. Okay, good to know. Response to the Titan. Yeah, then it was bugged. Inverter and Reality Heist? What's the idea there? I think over a Titan here it's over, right? They go for Cultivator Colossus. Well, I don't think I've ever actually dressed down a Cultivator Colossus before. Oh, they could just bounce the Valakut. Yeah. But this has always been my dream. This has always been my dream. Nice 7-mana spell. This probably lets me main phase draw 2, right? There's the Thoracle. Delta, Counterspell, Dress Down, Opt, Archmage's Charm. Gonna counter using Counterspell here so that I can draw 2 and win the game with Oracle, obviously. Was that the most value Dress Down I've ever had? Maybe. I've had some good ones. It was in the top 5 at least. I've definitely killed like 4 Urza Saga tokens before. That's maybe more value than that though. Oh, we can Dress Down to draw a card. Okay, GG. That was a good league. Went 4-1 that time. I mean, 2-3, 2-3, 4-1 is not exactly stellar, but the deck did feel powerful, I think, the whole time, which could sometimes be more important. Lots of different ways to build it. This is not how we have it built right now, just kind of theorizing. Shellduck Isle, Jace build. I think I'm going to spend some time working on the Reanimator version tonight. Do my best to like playtest some. And if I feel like I've got something good, maybe we'll play it tomorrow. And if not, we'll just wait until the new blue-black looting spell is legal and we can try that. Yeah, I could pay the believers. I think that's it for me today, though. Not really enough time for another league.